Welcome back to Assen. You're a fan of two wheels, so check this out as well. UCI Cycling, it's the Giro d'Italia Stage 3. If you've been across this at all, you'll know that Mark Cavendish won the first stage, and Sir Bradley Wiggins has been part of the time trial team that won the second stage. So we are doing very well indeed. You can see live coverage from Sorrento today at 1:30. If you want to stay with us, you can catch the highlights from the Giro tonight at 10:30 p.m. Of course, you can see it live on eurosportplayer.co.uk. You can check it all out on British Eurosport. Great action out there, and great action here at Alton Park as well. This is the season that we are faced in front of us, that we have in front of us. At Alton Park today is round three of 12, and we are back here at Alton Park in August for a triple header of action there before we get into the showdown proper, and that is round 10, 11 and 12. Assen, Silverstone and Brands Hatch. But Alton Park is a fantastic circuit. That's why we're here twice. The boys are forming up on the grid, as you can see. So time to hand over to James Whittam, who is out there. Whit, the floor is yours.
It's Tony Ladd. Right, we're on the front row, and this is Keith Farmer, Rapid Solutions Kawasaki. This feels good for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit strange to be up here, and we're struggling in practice and qualifying, but with the help of Shaky, he let us follow him around. So thankfully we're up here in front row to help.
Yeah, and you say give you help. We saw that on screen yesterday that you're following him around. Very good of him, obviously, but it was a good lap. And to do that lap, it's not just following. You've got to ride the bike. You're going to lean it over. You can do it, can't you?
Yeah, I can do it. It's easier following the wind. So no, I think once we get in race pace, I'm not a qualifier, so once we get in race pace, I think we'll be okay and just settle in and do nothing stupid today.
Keith, we're impressed with you. Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
Right, we're going to sneak back, and we're going to sneak back quite a long way. We're going to go back to row 5 because there's a bit of a special presentation going on for the most experienced man on the grid, and that is Michael Rutter. We'll just sneak between these two. Tommy Bridewell on the Batham's Honda. We're going back. We've got James Westmoreland on his BMW. PJ Jacobson, the New Yorker. This Yuichi Kinari on the second of the Samsung Hondas. We're going back, and we're going to go back. There's a big crowd around him. The reason is because he's getting a presentation just at this point. Here we go. This is Michael Rutter on his Batham's Honda. You're a long way back, but it's a special day for you. 400 starts in BSB.
Oh no, it's completely mad. I remember racing with you and that was like black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah, and actually in the modern era of BSB, you were the first, in 95, you were the first ever winner of a BSB race.
Yeah, I remember that Donington Park. I think it was a bit of weird conditions and things like that, and it wasn't the nicest day, was it?
It wasn't. And explain what you've got. So what you've got here is you've got a presentation of an award from Dickies. And now Mr. Palmer is now awarding you with this helmet. And this helmet has been done by Black Horse. It's one of only two. You're going to wear one, and the other can be won in a competition. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. I think Black Horse have, had two helmets done. I'm going to keep one, which first time I've seen, which I'm well happy with.
So if you want to go on the website, it's michaelrutter.com, yeah?
I'm not sure. What is it? The website?
It's your website. You should...
Yeah, BSB, so michaelrutter.com.
Right, that'll do. Well,
that's it. Cheers.
BritishSuperbike.com is where they can go, I'm told. So that's the helmet. It is fantastic. Well done with your 400 start in BSB, Michael.
Thanks, Jamie. Will you buy me a drink later?
You know what? Just like you wouldn't. Right, here we go. We're going to go forward again now because, so look, we're going back past our main wearing. There he is on his MH Racing Kawasaki. Because I want just a quick word with Shane Byrne up front, and then maybe if we can just have a word with the fastest man on the grid yesterday, the legend that is Roger Marshall there, 9 times a British champion. So look, we'll go straight for Alex Lowes, I think. Here we go. If we can just get through. That's Sam Lowes, his brother, winner of Super Sport over at Assen a couple of weeks ago. Alex, good lap. Sound pole, that'll do, won't it?
Yeah, I've done worse laps in my life, so yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's nice to be saying. I was just saying to the boys, we've been pretty fast all weekend. So you always get a bit nervous, but I just keep doing what I've been doing. Get off the start, get away with Shaky, and just enjoy this one. So yeah, I feel pretty good.
The fast lap yesterday was on a race tyre as well, I believe.
Yeah, same tyre I've got in the bike now, so yeah, should be right.
You enjoy this, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. You can't not enjoy it. When you get on a Friday, you work really hard, you're on pole position, you've been fast in each session, you've done everything you can do. You can't be sat in a better position. So, like I said, I'm going to really enjoy this one, use my head again, and try and get on that podium.
I like a rider who smiles because I can remember this being the best job in the world, and some riders don't realise it at the time when it's happening.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is I just love it. You're first, you're fourth, wherever you finish, the bottom line is you're racing an awesome bike around an awesome track, and it's great fun. So, yeah, I'll definitely be enjoying it as much as everyone else. Let's hope I'm faster than everyone else.
Alex, off you go, mate. Good luck.
Cheers.
Right, we're going to go across. I'm just going to try and get a quick word. I'll tell you what, we'll have a word with this man. Sam Laws, Alex's brother, because we've only got about half a minute left. Sam, that was a good lap. The pair of you flying in your respective classes now.
Yeah, no, we was actually just saying that last night, you know. He actually surprised me yesterday. He's been on it all weekend, but, you know, so a lot of the other boys, and to be honest, to do a 34 even surprised me, so fair play to him, and you know, he looks relaxed, and yeah, I'm excited for this one, you know. It's been close racing all year, and I think it'll be a good race today.
Did you get nervous for him?
Oh, incredibly nervous, yeah.
Sam, good luck, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
Right, that's it. That's looking up towards Old Hall. This is one of the kind of most iconic starts when there's a little bit of a crest. I remember sat here myself, being on the front row, you're kind of more nervous, but you've done half the job already, so good luck to the lot of them. We're not going to talk to them now. They're all putting their helmets on. We're going to get kicked off, so Tony, it's back to you, mate.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, Alton Park is bathed in sunshine. Like a garment, it wears the first rays of summer proper. Just this magnificent track in Cheshire. We're going to take a short break just while the guys are forming up. And when we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the first MCE British Superbikes race of the day. See you back here at Alton Park in 2. Welcome back to Alton Park. We're just about to get underway with the first MCE British Superbikes race of the day. 2 riders to watch out for in this. On row 4, on the blue, Honda, Riichi Kianari. On row 3, on the red, Yamaha, James Ellison. They've all got to beat bike number 22, Alex Lowes, on pole. You see him there. Time to get on with the action and then go over to our commentators, James Whittam and Jack Burnicle.
60 years after Alton Park first hosted a World 100 motorcycle race round a 1.5-mile circuit with Cascades, a fast right-hander up to Clay Hill. We're here for an absolutely sparkling spring start to Alton Park's British Superbikes celebration of 2013. The first PSP race heading round on its warm-up lap. The man on pole position, Alex Lowes, with an absolutely scintillating time that he set of 1 minute 34.884, fully half a second clear of the championship leader and reigning champion Shane Byrne on his Kawasaki. We've got a really terrific race lineup here. We're lacking one rider who should be on the grid, and that is Danny Buchan, the lad from Basildon on the Quattro Plat Kawasaki, who had a crash in qualifying on the second lap of qualifying, and feels so lacking in confidence at the moment he's decided to leave a perfectly good motorcycle in the garage and told his team that he doesn't want to participate today. Ahead of him, of course, we've got people like Shaky Byrne leading the championship on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki on 91 points. Alex Lowes, Samsung Honda on 76. Josh Brooks, Taiko Suzuki on 60. Fourth place for James Ellison's Milwaukee Yamaha on 51, ahead of the 2 build-based BMWs of John Kirkham and James Westmoreland. Keith Farmer is in 7th place, ahead of Chris Walker, a race winner here a year ago on the Quattro Plant Kawasaki, PJ Jacobson's Taiko Suzuki, and the 2nd Samsung Honda of Yuichi Kianari. 11th place in the series for the 400th raceman, Batham's Honda's Michael Rutter. Peter Hickman is 12th for Lloyd's British GB Moto, ahead of Carl Harris, Jakob Smertz on the Paget's Honda, Robin Harms, Dudson Motorsport Honda. 16th place for Tommy Bridewell's Batham's Honda, ahead of Josh Waters, having his first ride round here on the Milwaukee Yamaha. Howie Mainwaring, Martin Jessup, and the reigning Italian champion, Matteo Baiocco. The starting grid for the MCE Insurance British Superbike Championship in association with Pirelli here at Alton Park. Alex Lowes on pole position with that blistering lap ahead of Shane Byrne, Josh Brooks and Keith Farmer. The second row of the grid headed up by John Kirkham, ahead of Chris Walker, Tommy Bridewell and Peter Hickman. Row 3, Carl Harris, James Ellison, who had a technical issue that kept him out of qualifying 3, James Westmoreland and PJ Jacobson. And Jakob Smertz heads up row 4 for the Paget's Honda team, ahead of Yuichi Kianari, Tristan Palmer and Howie Mainwaring. Waiting for the lights to go out here at Oulton Park, that was the man on pole position, number 22, Alex Lowes on the Samsung Honda. As they head down to Old Hall Corner, though, it's Shaky Byrne, the reigning champion, who makes the perfect start on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki and leads the way down the hill towards Cascades. Perfect start for Shaky Byrne.
Yeah, good.
And he's got Alex Lowes in pursuit, number 22.
Yeah, Brooks going to second, but Alex Lowes passed him down the avenue. That's not an easy place to pass. Alex keen to get away with Byrne, obviously.
And I think number 2, Josh Brooks, equally keen to stay with them. So it's Byrne, Lowes, Brooks, Farmer, Bridewell, Walker.
Lowes has gone past. Lowes has gone straight through.
Wow.
And he's not wasting any time. I think that Alex Lowes thinks that with that lap in practice, with the same tyres on now, I think he thinks he can get away.
So Alex Lowes, the 22-year-old Lincolnshireman, number 22, takes the lead from the reigning champion and the record-breaking 44th race winner from last time out at Thruxton, Shaky Byrne. And already this front three fastest men in qualifying have simply burst clear from the opposition as they drop down. And it's Tommy Bridewell who's moved into 4th place on the Batham's Honda.
And that's Farmer.
Farmer's gone.
That's Farmer.
So the other Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki is out.
And that's at the hairpin, I think, Jack. Up at Shell.
Up Clay Hill. It doesn't show you just how steep and fast this is. They're clocking on towards 170 miles an hour over the top and then breaking into Druids at the top of the hill. And then this terrific roller coaster of a ride underneath the Warwick Bridge up to 135 miles per hour before they back it off for Lodge Corner. 70 mile an hour second gear right-hander, and that takes them to the famous Deer Leap. Plunge down here at 160, straight out and across the start and finish straight.
Yeah, this is giving Shane Byrne something to think about, because we know that Shane Byrne, even if he doesn't have to win, like we saw at the end of last year, he still likes to win. And this has certainly given him something to think about, with Alex Lowes being as quick as he is around here.
So the 36-year-old Shane Byrne tucked right in second place on that white and red Kawasaki. Tommy Bridewell 4th. Peter Hickman's made a great start on the GB Motors Honda. He's lying 5th ahead of John Kirkham. James Ellison already up to 7th place from 10th on the grid. He, of course, had that problem with a falling oil pressure that prevented him going out for qualifying 3 yesterday, so he had to settle for 10th place on the grid. Josh Brooks, he'd be keen to do what his fellow Australian Bob Brown did back in 1959, the first time that British Championship racing came here to Oulton Park. Bob Brown actually beat Mike Halewood to win the 500cc race that day.
Not many people can say that.
Exactly, yeah. As they go through Kiel left and right on their way up towards Clay Hill now.
Yep, and Josh Brooks in 3rd on the Suzuki there. You just know that he can do this. You know, if he gets away with them, he's just able to push on. There he is, look. Number 2, and likes it around here. Lots and lots of podiums in the past for Josh Brooks around here. I think been on the podium 9 times.
On the second lap of 18, the front 3, as we see Shaky Byrne just take a little look as they drop down to the Old Lodge Corner. Checking back down the field, the Kawasaki of Chris Walker goes through. The very upright stance of Howie Mainwaring, very distinctive there as he dropped into Old Lodge Corner. Now we go round the first turn, heading down the avenue. And look at those guys, the style, the speed and the commitment down there. That is a steep drop down into Cascades.
Yeah, it's not the drop that gets you, Jack. It's the little right-hander at the top, just as you go over the crest. There's lots going on there. It's thrilling, but also quite a difficult bit of track to get right. You need to be brave there.
Brooks looks rather keen to find a way past Byrne here.
And do you know what? The times aren't that quick yet. I know we've only had really one flying lap, and it's 136s, low 136s. So yeah, we're about a second and a half off what Lowes managed to do with the same tyres on that he's got now.
The lap record is still held by Yuichi Kiyanari from 2006, would you believe, on the HM Plant Honda, a 135.436.
Yeah, but with all the electronics that was illegal then with these superbikes, and I think he would have had
factory Michelin tyres.
I think Michelin tyres, yeah.
This is PJ Jacobson leading this long queue in about 8th place. Carl Harris is in there, Jakob Smerts, Chris Walker, James Westmoreland on the build-based BMW. And right at the back of that gang, really acquitting himself well, is Robin Harms on the bright yellow Dootson Motorsport Honda on his first visit here. There's Yuichi Kiyanari, number 23, the former champion, good heavens, he's almost on to BBC Two. He's down in about 19th place.
Yeah, not good. No confidence at all for Yuichi Kinare.
And that was Howie Mainwaring being sat up there in the bottom of your picture by Robin Harms, making progress. And at the moment, Kinare is lapping up 139.8 against the leader's 136.226.
Yeah, and that's a man that's won a load of times around here, and if anywhere he was going to regain his confidence, it would have been here, I would have thought. So, yeah, disappointing for Kinare. He'll be heartbroken, to be honest.
These three flying in absolute formation. What did it do to you? Did you ever suffer a drastic loss of form, James, and have to kind of pull yourself out of it?
Not really, no. I don't know. There is no way out. You know, it's all about confidence, and sometimes you try a bit harder because you think that's what you've got to do. You crash, and then that makes you worse, and it's a bit of a downward spiral kind of scenario that Kinare's got, and I feel sorry for him, I do.
This is the Britain's chicane here.
Bridewell.
Tommy Bridewell, number 46 on the Batham's Honda. The young man from Devizes leads that gang heading in the moment in fourth place. Great ride by the big Lincolnshireman Peter Hickman there in 60. Hickman, number 60, pressing hard in fifth place ahead of James Ellison on the Milwaukee Yamaha.
Yeah, in front of that bunch on the black and gold Honda is Tommy Bridewell, and that is particularly impressive for him because he's holding a really good fourth, not far off the pace of the leading three, and he's still got a huge hole in his leg from Thruxton where the footrest of his bike went in after that altercation with Harris when Harris's brakes failed.
That was a huge crash.
It's a big hole in his leg. He's a proper injury. It's not, it's not just a sort of flesh wound. It's a big gaping hole it was, with a lot of muscle damage. And yeah, he's doing well, is Tommy.
This is the battle for second place, just astern of the leader, Alex Lowes. Lowes hasn't been able to break clear yet on the fifth lap of 18. Once again, dropping down that steep hill to Cascades, where the track used to swoop round to the right there.
Oh, Lowes is out the seat there. Didn't hold him up too much, but yeah, that'll have just made him think about what's going on because he just lost the rear just as he opened the throttle coming out of Cascades.
So it Lowes, Byrne and Brooks, then that second wave led by Bridewell from Hickman, Ellison and Kirkham, and then PJ Jacobson leads the next wave from Smertz, Westphal and Palmer and Robin
This is
Harms.
it, what I think we were...
Through Britain, still the same three running in absolute formation at the front. Alex Lowes, Shane Byrne and Josh Brooks. Down the hill towards Knickerbrook and the Hislop chicane.
This is it, this is coming out of Cascades. Watch the front bike, the blue Honda, there we go. There it goes, and had to close the throttle, sits his backside up off the seat to stop it sort of flicking him when it re-gripped. But yeah, he had that, he controlled. That wasn't a near crash, but it definitely cost him time.
When he looked a bit loose over the top of Clay Hill then.
He looks, I'll tell you what, he looks really good, and I think he is managing to put a little bit of time now into Byrne and Brooks.
The last lap he did a 135.847, which was about 2/10 quicker than his pursuers.
And I think this is going to be even quicker. Although saying that, Byrne closes up into Lodge on the brakes.
And at the moment he's running about 4/10 off that record-breaking speed without the electronics, without the factory tyres. And dropping into 130, this time it was a 136.3 and the others matched that speed. So he just dropped back to their speed for a moment there.
Yeah, and I think some of that will be due to the fact that he got that rear end slide coming out of this corner, Cascades. And that, there is a couple of tenths in that. You've got to close the throttle and that's going to cost you time, even though to me it didn't nearly crash it. It wasn't a sort of ooh and ah moment. It was just, he had to control it and that cost him time.
The happy-go-lucky Alex Lowes then leading the way. Under the watchful eye as ever of his twin brother Sam. Ouch. Oh, and Robin Harms has gone down big. That's the Doodson Honda of Robin Harms. Oh, that is at the bottom of the avenue. That's a big place to crash down there. Robin Harms, who was really enjoying, the dashing Dane was really enjoying his first visit to Alton Park. He had a new... That's a relief to see him up.
That's his red helmet, and he's all right. Good.
He's got a new crew chief this weekend, Norris Farrow, no less, the fabled New Zealand wrench.
He's going to need him to put that back together. Here we go, and that's a big crash.
Whoa.
Yeah, Marshall's scuttling out of the way there, and that's a lot of damage to that. You see the tanks all smashed. Yeah, a lot of damage.
Oh, Robin, you have given Norris a lot of work to do. He might quit after this weekend, mate, if you do too much of that. And we got a problem for Michael Rotter, number 400. It is 400th, his record-breaking 400th British Superbike appearance. The man who won the first race in the new era of British Superbikes at Donington Park in 1995. 28 race wins to his credit. Rutter stopped He's taking off again. By the way, you can win a replica of that helmet on michaelrutter.com. There's a free competition to enter. It goes the Black Horse the celebratory helmet. One of them for Michael to race with, one of them for a competition winner to win.
And the paint job is absolutely stunning, Jack. I've been really close to it just down the grid, and it's a lovely paint job. Yeah, his 400th race for Michael Rutter not working out as well as the first one, which he won.
Yes, in sketchy conditions, he said. These conditions are far from sketchy.
Yeah.
Alex Lowes leads the way. Shaky Byrne just shadowing him past the lake there through the Shell Oil hairpin, that fabulous dished right-hander. And then the burst up towards Britain's. I think we should do away with Britain's because the touring cars don't have to use it. They carry straight on that right-hand swoop.
I hate to admit it, but the first time I ever raced here, first couple of times on a 125, you came out the Shell Oil's hairpin, it was flat out over hilltop. You didn't even have to shut off at all because there was no chicane up there and no chicane down here. And for me, it was a better circuit to ride, a little bit more dangerous, however.
Up the hill then, Alex Lowes still leads. Byrne second, Brooks third. Whooping into the right-hander here at Druids. Alex Lowes once again just seems to be capable of extending that small advantage over Shaky Byrne and Josh Brooks. Brooks still shadowing Byrne without looking at the moment whether he can make a passing move. Byrne's strong on the brakes. He is. Closed the Honda down.
He is, and just look at Byrne's lines, you know, he comes in from really wide, lots of confidence on the front. He's actually trying to go up the inside, but look how he goes right to the outside, then turns it on its side and still makes the apex. Do you see how he was able to do that? He had a look at the inside going into Old Hall, then swapped it back to the outside and still turned it on its side. That's confidence, that.
And is this quite a front-end circuit? Do you need that confidence in the front end?
It's a bit, yeah, you do. You need confidence in the front end of every circuit. It is a bit of a front-end circuit. Lots of downhill corners where you've got to turn them in, but it's also a rear-end circuit. You know, there's lots of places where you can do yourself a bit of a mischief with the back as well. Of course.
You know, he's suddenly, in that moment, he's kind of looks as if he's got a little bit of a toe on Alex, so he's just broken away from Brooks a bit at that point.
Yeah, and I think you're dead right. I think Brooks is just on about his limit to stay where he is now. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to launch any kind of... but you never know how the tyres are going to wear and what's going to happen. Anybody can make a mistake.
James Ellison making progress on that red and black Milwaukee Yamaha. He's moved through now to attack Tommy Bridewell, number 46 on the Batham's Honda. Dropping down the hill. James Ellison, whose mum and his brother Dino are here watching, as he tries to make a move on the inside there through the Hizzies chicane up Clay Hill. He's very, very keen to find a way past Tommy Bridewell.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the pace to catch the leading three. He looks really keen to get past Bridewell at this point.
This is what Brooks lost time here.
Yeah, let's have a look. That's it, and that's right in the middle of the corner. Again, I don't think he was near to crashing, but certainly got to close the throttle, and that'll affect him all the way down the next straight.
As they drop down through D Elite, this is the battle for fourth place now between Tommy Bridewell and, look at the man there, number 77, James Ellison, trying to make a move up the inside, and he catches him. Ellison through to fourth place. Down the avenue, the Milwaukee Yamaha. There's some Milwaukee Yamaha top brass here this weekend who'll be enjoying this performance by Ellison from having to start from 10th place on the grid. Behind them, John Kirkham has broken through to 6th place on the build-based BMW ahead of Peter Hickman, James Westmoreland, PJ Jacobson, Tristan Palmer having a good ride, rounding out the top 10. Palmer from Tamworth on the second GB Moto Racing Honda in the absence of the injured Dan Linfoot.
Yeah, we're going to say standing in for Dan.
On the 9th lap of 18, just about completing half-race distance here, the Milwaukee Yamaha through to 4th place with Keir Clear Track ahead of him. Can Ellison, former MotoGP rider, former European Superstock champion, make any impression on the leaders?
It'd be interesting to see just how quick that James Ellison on that Milwaukee Yamaha can go, because he's got clear track now. He's been pretty much every lap until now, he's been passing somebody, coming from 10th on the grid.
At the front, Shaky Byrne still just running at the same pace. The last lap was a 36.1 for Lowes, a 36.3 for Byrne, but Shaky's just clawed his way back again. This
would be a quick lap for Byrne compared to Lowes. I think he's right on his back wheel now.
Down dear League, that is such a depression. It flattens out rather substantially underneath our camera lens. And then whapping down the straight here, braking hard into the first turn.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Ellison is lapping quicker than anybody in front. Fastest man on track that lap for James Ellison in 4th. I don't think he's going to have... He's not enough quicker to catch the leading 3, I don't think.
Last lap was that was James Ellison's fastest ever lap round Oulton Park. Race lap 136.166. So pushing hard in 4th place, and at the moment with Josh Brooks just getting detached from the front 2, then Ellison could always fancy his chances of making a rostrum. Brooks worth 136.7, lost a half second on Ellison on the last lap. These are the leaders, Alex Lowes, Shaky Byrne. They're beginning to look like the 2 class acts of this British Superbike season.
Already, yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yuichi Kianari still not in the points, running in 17th place, lapping at 139.2, which is 3 seconds off the pace these guys are setting.
I'll tell you what, Shane Byrne is good on the brakes. Yes. Just going down into that chicane, and the thing sideways, the back's kind of just stepping out a little bit, drifting in, and then he just, as soon as the back grips again, he drops it in. Good, lovely, really nice to watch.
He's always had a classy style, hasn't he?
Yeah,
the 36-year-old Londoner, as we call him.
Yeah, fairly old school now, as the way he sits on the bike, but it's nice to watch.
So number 67 even, Shaky Byrne running 2nd on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki. Number 22, that beautiful blue Samsung Honda of Alex Lowes.
Yeah, 76 is actually Michael Rutter's age, I think we'll find.
41 2 weeks ago, claimed. Josh Brooks, 137.0, lost another 0.7 of a second to Ellison. Ellison's 2.7 seconds behind in 4th place at the moment. That gap could close yet. So on the 11th of 18 laps, there's still a third of the race to go for Ellison to try and close down on Brooks. This is the battle for the lead now between Lowes and Byrne, pretty much on their own.
Yeah, Byrne, I'll be just trying to figure out where Lowes is quick, where maybe he's a bit quicker than Lowes, and trying to come up with a little bit of a plan for the last. It looks like they're going to stay together. So I am dead sure that Byrne's going to want to win this. He ain't going to want to have Lowes beating him. You know, he wants to almost psychologically. He needs to sort of keep the upper hand. You know.
Alex Lowes had his first British Superbike outing ever here at Oulton Park in 2010.
On a Kawasaki, I think.
And later that season, he rode a KTM at Cadwell Park and got a 15th place in his first championship point. But Oulton Park was the scene of his first British Superbike race. We didn't then foresee how rapidly he could become a force to be reckoned with in the championship. So underneath the Black Horse Bridge, the undulating route. Now look at Ellison in the background there, closing the gap on the 3rd place Josh Brooks. Here is Brooks breaking into into Lodge Corner. There is James Ellison. There's the battle beginning to close up now between Kirkham and Bridewell. Next man up there is Peter Hickman on the purple and white GB Motors Honda. And then behind Hickman we should have James Ellison on the red build-based BMW, followed by PJ Jacobson, Chris Walker, a race win here a year ago, and Tristan Palmer having a really bright outing as a substitute rider for GB Motors Honda.
Last lap for Ellison was a full second quicker than Brooks. He's going to catch him, definitely.
Meanwhile, the other Taiko Suzuki coming under pressure from the old stager Chris Walker. 21 times a British Superbike race winner there on the bright green Quattro Plant Kawasaki. Right, oh, and the twitching, the New Yorkers, Taiko Suzuki twitched over the hilltop there, coming down the avenue.
Yeah, first time here at Oulton for PJ Jacobson. That's good effort from him. Also good effort for Chris Walker, the man with... Oh, that's
Shaky Byrne.
That Shane Byrne's off.
Byrne has fallen, I think, at Britain's. Is it Britain's or Shell Oils?
It is, no,
Britain's.
I think it Britain's that.
Shaky Byrne's pressing hard to stay with Alex Lowes. Looked like he was threatening him. He's fallen, and it's now 2nd and 3rd places for Josh Brooks and James Ellison.
He's lost the front at Britain's, that's what he's done. As he's gone left and then pitched it right.
Perhaps clipped the curb is a common fault. Here we go.
He goes in left, and he's going to lose it on the right. Watch. Has he clipped the curb, maybe? No, he hasn't. He's just lost the front. Perfect line. Nothing wrong with what he's doing.
I think you can see the reaction of that man in the foreground on the left.
The thing is, you carry the brake all the way in the front brake's on fairly hard all the way in as it changes from left-hand lean to right-hand lean, and he just had, I think, probably had the brake on a little bit too much there. Well, obviously, but yeah.
Well, James, that's his championship lead gone up the chute then, because this man Alex Lowes is now clear for victory. Only his 3rd ever British Superbike win, but it would take him into the lead of the British Superbike Championship. Number 22, Alex Lowes. And we've got a bit of advice from Alex's twin brother here. This is Alex Lowes. Alex Lowes, top World Championship super sport runner, of course, indicating to his twin brother, for goodness sake, slow down a bit. There's Kirk Gibbons there on the right, the personal trainer for the boys.
Yes.
On lap 13 of 18. Alex Lowes, Josh Brooks, James Ellison is the order at the moment, although Ellison is definitely catching Josh Brooks. He's now just a second behind the Australian. Tommy Bridewell fourth, ahead of Kirkham and Hickman. Two very tall men enjoying themselves here. Westmoreland seventh, PJ Jacobson scrapping with Chris Walker for eighth place.
You know, Alex Lowes now riding like this in BSB. His brother Sam, we just saw on the pit wall, trying to actually slow him down and tell him that he had a big gap. He was winning at Assen, a thrilling race, just beating Sophoglu in World Supersport. And yeah, incredible that both these two were right at the top of the games now. It's unreal.
The battle for second place is really hotting up here. Josh Brooks has been caught by the Milwaukee Yamaha of James Ellison, and the Cumbrian from Kendal looking, he was really confident in the garage before this race change when I spoke to him. He and his wife Sarah, his Texan wife Sarah, and his brother Dino looking very relaxed there, and they felt that they could make good progress from 10th place on the grid.
This is very impressive for me, for James Ellison. It really is. He's come from 10th, not so easy. He's had to work for it. He's put some quick laps in, which means he'll probably start from the front row of race 2.
And here he is attacking Josh Brooks, number 2, and I don't know whether Brooks has much of an answer to this. The Suzuki manages to dive through Island Bend in front, still in second place.
Yeah, you know, when you've caught somebody from 4, 5, 6 seconds behind, which Ellison has on Brooks, you know, he'll be sat happy now. He'll know that he's going to make a pass sometimes. He's got 4 laps to do it. He ain't going to be in a rush.
Well, I think I would be keen to get past myself.
Yeah, you'd want to get past, but you know you're not going to go and win it. You're not going to catch Lowes, so you wouldn't be kind of rushing him. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to run in the back of him or clip him or do whatever. You need to make it clean at this point because there's no reason to do it any other way.
So James just settles in there behind him. James Ellison riding number 77 on the black and red Milwaukee Yamaha, pressing for third place. Actually born in Lancaster, lives in Kendal. 32 years old now, James Ellison. For his second, remember, in British Superbikes on an Airways Yamaha back in 2009 behind Leon Camier. Dropping down the hill towards into the last turn. Look at this, things happening behind, because John Kirkham, who's suffered absolutely no ill effects here at Oulton Park after that massive accident he had at the top of Clay Hill last year, 12 months ago in fact.
Yeah, our cameraman's still in rehab from that, I'll tell you what, it's been trauma clinic.
But and he has a very beguiling nature about him, the tall Derbyshireman. He was getting very sweetly chatting up one of the Max's on Brolly ladies before this race. John Kirkham then in 4th place now as we watch James Ellison think about making a move through Island Bend on Josh Brooks. The Taiko Suzuki stays put. Brooks, of course, who's facing his first TT on the Isle of Man between now and the next British Superbike round at Knockhill in Scotland.
Yep, and he's been over there quite a lot, doing laps on bikes, in cars, taking advice of everybody. He's actually putting some real effort and thought into his TT effort this year, is Brooks. And you've got to do over there.
Josh Brooks over the top of the hill and dropping once again down towards Knickerbrook and the Hislop chicane. Swinging it right and left. And at the moment, the battle between these two is looking like John Kirkham has got the better of Bridewell, just pulled a little bit of a gap on him. But at the moment, it looks as if it's going to be difficult for the Yamaha to find a way past the Taiko Suzuki, because Josh is kind of reborn a little since he got pushed by the Yamaha.
Yeah, and also Ellison's times have just slacked off a little bit into the 37, so you know, I thought when you've caught something like that, the momentum's with you think, yeah, I can easily get past him, take me time, but he doesn't look like he's close enough to sort of launch an assault now.
Fastest lap was set by Alex Lowes at 1:35.847 on lap 4. We're on the 16th of 18 laps now, and with Alex Lowes leading the way, already down at the bottom of the hill, this is the battle between Brooks and James Ellison. James Ellison, who finished 16th in MotoGP last year, with riding the Paul Bird CRT motorcycle. That's the kind of Division 2 MotoGP class. Had been in British Superbikes for the previous 3 seasons.
Yeah, and actually got in the top 10 with it once. A good effort on the CRT bike from
That's
Ellison.
right, 9th in Valencia and Malaysia.
Yeah.
This is the other Tyco rider, PJ Jacobsen, the little pint-sized New Yorker, who had a win on the Super Stock and a win on an outing on the Super Sport bike last year, and that was enough to earn him Philip Neal's blessing as a Superbike racer. And Tommy Bridewell is reviving here. He's beginning to attack John Kirkham again, see if he can retake that 4th place. These guys, of course, involved very much in the top 6, the race for the... Oh,
Ellison's
through.
Yeah.
Ellison's found his way past Josh Brooks, so Ellison, Milwaukee, Yamaha now through to 2nd place, which junks everything we were saying just before.
No, refer back to what we said first about it.
Yes. The top 6 at the moment in the championship: Byrne, Lowes, Brooks, Ellison, Kirkham, Westmoreland. They're the guys who want to be accumulating the points. The guys just outside that top 6, Walker, Farmer, Jacobsen, who want a few more points to try and push into the showdown.
And do you know what? Brooks never gives up here.
No, you don't expect
unless
that,
he has to do.
And Josh Brooks taking and just looking at a few possible alternative lines. There's number 22, the race leader Alex Lowes, Samsung Honda. This is Ellison and Brooks, then Kirkham, Bridewell and Peter Hickman rounding out the top 6. We're on the 17th of 18 laps, the penultimate lap of race 1 of the MCE British Insurance British Superbike Series. And Alex Lowes lapping his last lap, James, 1:37.3.
Ellison out the seat there at the Shell Autos hairpin. Doesn't look like it's held him up much, but that's just at the point where I said, you know, the camber drops off, and it's really dished the Shell Autos hairpin, and the camber drops off really abruptly, and it's so easy to get the rear loose there.
Ellison and Josh Brooks dropping down the hill. Again, Ellison working hard on the brakes, James, just giving himself a tweak or two into the right-hander.
Yeah, good ride this by Ellison, you know, from 10th. Just what he needed.
His teammate Josh Waters has managed to wade his way into the points. He's in 13th place ahead of Carl Harris and number 40, Martin Jessup, also in the frame. Chianari still 16th and just outside the points. Alex Lowes leads it, Ellison in 2nd, Brooks 3rd, Kirkham in 4th, Bridewell 5th, Hickman a really splendid 6th. James Westmoreland, that means we've got 2 of the build-based BMWs in the top 7. And the build-based BMW boss, Stuart Hicken, was telling me during warm-up this morning, James, that he feels blessed, he said, because I was talking to Keogh before this, about this season. I could have been suffering right now. He said, fortunately, he never returned me last call. So Lowes, Ellison, Brooks, Kirkham, Bridewell, Hickman and Westmoreland crosses the line now, 25 seconds behind the leader, but running 7th. Very much on his own ahead of the battle between Jacobsen, Walker and a splendid Tristan Palmer, who's having a good run as a stand-in for the GB Motors Honda squad. John Kirkham, number 10, looking strong ahead of the Batham's Honda of Tommy Bridewell. And it looks on this last lap as if, barring any mistakes, Kirkham will hang on to that 4th place on bike number 10.
Yeah, I think so. There's Josh Brooks, and that's Jenny Timmuth on her Honda just coming through. She's...
So Brooks is now back ahead of the Milwaukee
what's going on there? Yeah, I would expect him to be out of shot. What's something going on there?
A big moment then for James Ellison.
Exactly.
He's lost 2nd place on the final lap. And right at the top of Clay Hill, the Tyco Suzuki disappears.
There's Brooks. Then
there's Alex Lowes. We might be getting befuddled by back markers here. Yes, we are. Indeed we are. It's Jenny Tinmouth, bless her, who's there in an apparent 2nd place. This is number 22, Alex Lowes, who is going to be taking his 3rd victory in the British Superbike Championships with mono wheels across the line. A great victory then for Alex Lowes. Sam and Kurt Gibbon look pretty pleased with that. A great ride for Milwaukee Yamaha's James Ellison. He finishes 2nd, 3rd for Josh Brooks, Tyco Suzuki, 4th John Kirkham, 5th place for Tommy Bridewell. This is PJ Jacobson, number 99, who has held off the attack from number 9, Chris Walker, as they drop down Deer Leap. Jacobson will take that 8th place ahead of Walker in 9th, as he so often seems to be on bike number 9. And 10th place there for a very, very competitive Tristan Palmer. And Yuichi Kianari, here he comes, and Martin Jessup's almost caught Kianari. Jessup and has got Harris and is pressing Kianari as they cross the line now. I think Keogh might get in the points. He just might grab a couple of points here. He crosses the line in 14th. He got the better of Martin Jessup and Carl Harris and managed to squeeze himself into 14th place with the fastest lap of his race altogether overall of 1:38.5, which means it's about 3.2 seconds behind the fastest lap of this man, number 22, Alex Lowes, his teammate at Samsung Honda. So a terrific ride. Javier Beltran there. Well, mixed feelings. What would you feel like if you've got riders finishing 1st and 14th, James? It's a bit of a
you won't be dead pleased with the rider finishing 14th, but you've got the win. So, yeah, I mean, good enough, I guess. Good ride from Lowes, that.
Back in 2005, Alex Lowes was on the podium with his twin brother. They finished 1st and 3rd with Bradley Smith between them in a 1:25 British Championship race. So fond memories of Alton Park have just got a little bit fonder for the young Lincolnshireman. Alex Lowes, Samsung Honda, wins it then cleanly and convincingly. James Ellison plunders 2nd place after a strong ride through the field ahead of Josh Brooks, Taiko Suzuki. John Kirkham, build-based BMW, finishes 4th. Tommy Bridewell's Batham's Honda in 5th. Peter Hickman, Lloyd's British GB Motor Honda, is 6th, ahead of James Westmoreland on the 2nd build-based BMW. Taiko Suzuki's PJ Jacobson, 8th. Chris Walker, 9th for Quattro Plant Kawasaki. And Tristan Palmer, Lloyd's British GB Motor Honda, finishes an excellent 10th. 11th for Howie Mainwaring. Good ride for Howie on the MH Kawasaki. Jakob Smertz, Paget's Honda, is 12th. 13th, Josh Walker's Milwaukee Yamaha, ahead of former champion Yuichi Kianari, Samsung Honda. And a final point for Martin Jessup on the Riders Motorcycles BMW. Outside the points, Carl Harris, Matteo Baiocco on the Rapido Sporting Panigale, Lee Costello, Jenny Tinmouth, and the man who crashed out in 2nd place, Shane Byrne. So the standings look like this. A new championship leader. You can see him in the background. Alex Lowes, Samsung Honda, 101 points. 10 clear now of Kawasaki's Shane Byrne. 3rd place for Josh Brooks, just 5 points ahead of Milwaukee Yamaha's James Ellison. John Kirkham and James Westmoreland keep build-based BMW in the top 6. Chris Walker 7th, ahead of PJ Jacobson, Peter Hickman and Keith Farmer. Outside the top 10, Kianari ahead of Tommy Bridewell, Michael Rutter, Carl Harris. 15th for Jakob Smertz, Robin Harms, Howie Mainwaring, Josh Waters, Palmer and Jessup round out that top 20. And this is James Ellison being congratulated by Sean Muir, because that was a really splendid effort by Milwaukee Yamaha's Ellison. There is the fallen Kawasaki of the former championship leader, Shaky Byrne. Loading up the bike, and remember it's a 1-bike rule. They need to get that bike back to base and get it repaired for the 2nd race later in the day, so that Shaky Byrne can get back out on track after that rare mistake from the reigning champion. But it's a great race victory then for Alex Lowes on the Samsung Honda, and a fine ride through the pack for James Ellison to 2nd, and 3rd place for the consistent Australian Josh Brooks. Just needs to find that little bit of extra speed. Look at the crowd here today. The crowd is absolutely huge. The first time they raced here back in 1953, there were 40,000 spectators, and it looks like we've got that kind of crowd here once again today. It's the first time we've got a really spring-like day to enjoy, and the blossom in this area, because I live up in the northwest, has absolutely burst out in the last 7 days. And it's just turned the corner. We actually have summer on the horizon here at Alton Park. And incidentally, can I just say congratulations to my daughter Lucy. She got married on Saturday. I've had a great weekend, Lucy and Dave tying the knot in Wallasey on Saturday. Here at Alton Park, in equally lovely weather, we are waiting a little bit of a chat with the top three in the British Superbike Championship. James Ellison there looking, that will feel as good as a win for Ellison, because he forced his way a long way through the pack to grab second place from Josh Brooks. So Ellison in second place. He'll have a much better starting position, of course, for race 2, having been right down in 10th place at the beginning of that one.
And we are here with our third place finisher, Josh Brooks, on the Taiko Suzuki. Josh, it looked like you were having some grip issues out there from about lap 4, 5, 6 onwards.
Yeah, that's right. I had one moment probably about the midway through the race, and I dropped completely off of Alex and Shaky, and I thought that they would be suffering similar problems, you know, and maybe that's what caught Shaky out, because I definitely had a few moments, front and rear, just the hotter temperatures and the tyre not being able to perform to the level I wanted to try and take it to. So, you know, Alex deserves some credit there. He was able to ride a brilliant race and take home the victory. But for me, I just had to hang in there, and had Ellison chase me down and pass me, and I felt if I pushed more, I was going to come down too. So I just had to accept the situation as it was.
Clever thing to do, really, because it's still a good haul of points. You're still third overall. We'll let you go to the podium, but well done, Josh.
Thank you.
We got Josh Brooks. A fine, mature ride, really, from Josh Brooks. Let's hear from our second place finisher, James Ellison. Well, from 10th on the grid, he finds second place on the podium. How did it feel out there? Because it looked like you were riding in a mercurial fashion. It looked like you could just put that bike anywhere.
Well, yeah, it might look like I couldn't.
I appreciate that, but it looked like it.
No, you're right, it is set up real well. Unfortunately, we were quite far back on the grid, as you know, with the qualifying. We had a problem in qualifying 2 and whatever. So, yeah, we started in 10th on the grid, and I knew it was going to be hard work. These guys, I knew all three of them, it worked like just like clockwork. All three of them went. Big gap, and I had to try and find my way through. But, I mean, Tommy Bridewell as well, he'd stepped his game up, and he was riding real well in the race. It wasn't easy to pass him and Hickman. I was really pushing for that. And then I started to see the two guys in front, Josh and... Alex and Shaky were kind of pulling away a little bit, and Josh kind of losing the pattern. That gave me an extra little bit of confidence, really, to keep pushing. And the last 5 laps, the bikes took the front, lost the rear, all over the place. I just really wanted a podium. And I noticed it looked like Josh was kind of losing his tyre a little bit, so you know, I didn't want to over-push, and just for one podium credit extra, you know. But we pushed as much as we could, a couple of mistakes, and came back with a second. So big thank you to Milwaukee Yamaha team and Monster Energy UK, obviously all my sponsors, and Tamworth Yamaha, big help.
Great ride from you, and the good news continues. You are on the front row for race 2, so we'll see you out there for that. You were 4th fastest, so well done, James.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
There we go, James Ellison. He will now go to the podium, and now our race winner for the first time in BSB. It is Alex Lowes. Well, we wait for ages for a Lowes win, and then 2 come along at once, with Sam winning last weekend out at Aston and you winning here. But I would contend, Alex, that was the best ride we've ever seen from you. Did it feel like that from your point of view? Yeah,
obviously it's disappointing with Shaky crashing halfway through, but that's right, isn't it? But you know, Sam won last week, and you know what it's like in our house. I can't let another one over on me, so there's more to do with that now. I'm only joking. It's fantastic. The team have worked really hard. It's a track that I've struggled in races in the past, so to come here and win is awesome. I'm really chuffed, and you know, hopefully I can do the same race too. I really enjoyed that. You know, there's a massive crowd out there. The sun's shining. I couldn't really, you know, couldn't be happier. So yeah, it's a long old season, and it's nice to get a win and sort of get the monkey off my back for this year. But you know, the long game is that I'm feeling good. The team are working hard, and yeah, we should be all right.
We saw Shaky sort of bobsleighing behind you there. Were you aware of how close he was?
No, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know how close he was. I knew he was +0 on my board, but I was setting into a rhythm. I was doing decent lap times that I know I could do in practice, and I knew Shaky could as well. So yeah, obviously I hope he's all right, and hopefully we can have a battle in the race too. Looking forward to it. So far, the gentleman's set, pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. Very well done, Alex. Thank you very much, Tony. See you later, mate. Alex Lowes there, Samsung Honda. He will make his way over to the podium. Whilst he does, let's just remind ourselves of some of the action that happened in that race. Time for the highlights, and Jack will take us through them.
The first of 18 laps, and Alex Lowes lost out on the start initially to Shaky Byrne on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki and to Josh Brooks on the Taiko Suzuki, but he immediately plunged past Brooks into second place, and within a quarter of a lap had whipped past Shaky Byrne to take an early lead. The Samsung Honda then led the way in this three-way battle for supremacy, and that big moment there just reminded him that perhaps he ought to steady up slightly. It so scared Shaky that he snatched off his visor. And then a huge crash for Robin Harms. First timer here on the Doodson Motorsport Honda, puts him out of contention. Big moment there for Josh Brooks at Cascades, slows him up and drops him back from the leaders as James Ellison, number 77, Milwaukee Yamaha, begins to make progress through the pack, forces his way past Tommy Bridewell. And then this moment at Britain's, running first and second, the reigning champion just loses the front at Britain's, and down goes the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki to the consternation of the spectator on the left of our picture. And slightly frustrated Shaky Byrne is out, and Sam Lowes, winner at Assen of World Supersport a week earlier, tells his twin brother to just back it off a bit, which Alex duly does. The battle for second place hots up. Ellison catches the Taiko Suzuki of Josh Brooks. And eventually, he forces away past the Australian into second place. So Yamaha goes second, behind Honda and ahead of Suzuki. But a great ride by an elated Alex Lowes. He says at the end there, you know what it's like in our house. We can't allow him to win, but to Sam to win one week and me not to win the next. He lifts the front wheel across the line. It's his third ever British Superbike race win for Alex Lowes, ahead of James Ellison. Third place goes to Josh Brooks, but the new championship leader here at Oulton Park is Alex Lowes. So on the rostrum then, we've got Alex Lowes in the middle, the winner, and left side the Yamaha there, the red and black leathers of Milwaukee Yamaha's James Ellison. On the right-hand side, Taiko Suzuki's very own Josh Brooks. Lisa Denton from our headline sponsors, MCE Insurance, presents the trophies. First to Josh Brooks, second to James Ellison, and third to Alex Lowes. Already his 58th British Superbike race, would you believe? His third ever race win. And the man who finished fourth in the MCE British Superbike Championship last year now leads the way. So the national anthem then for Sam Lowes, Samsung Honda, winner here of the first race at Oulton Park. Sam Lowes coolly accepts the plaudits of the crowd, and you can tell what a sportsman he is and how much he enjoys his racing by the fact he actually regretted the fact that his great rival Shaky Byrne crashed out of that race, and he hopes that he'll back up on his feet, on his wheels, for them to have a rousing battle next time out later in the afternoon. Well done, Alex.
So there we go then, the champagne is sprayed after a very eventful first MCE British Superbikes race here at Oulton Park, and Alex Lowes now leads the championship overall. He is 10 points ahead of Shane Byrne.